Mixmaster B here for MMB Radio, and on the phone line right now I have adult film star Savana Ginger. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Great. Thank you for calling into MMB Radio. And I mentioned adult film star. And before we get into all the questions that fans have been tweeting in, I have to say it's an honor to have you on with us, because for the longest time people have been requesting you to be on the show. They're like, you got to get Savannah on there. You got to get her sister on there. Fuck it. You got to get both of them on there.
I know. Thanks so much.
So, you're very in demand. But I say adult film star, and a lot of people are tweeting and they're like, are you still active in the business? Like, what's going on? Like, what's up with you?
Well, I have been in and out of the business for years now. Everyone knows I take breaks and I do other stuff. You know, I'm trying to do mainstream stuff as well. So, but yes, I have currently been doing adult films. But you know, the industry is taking a break as well. So I've just been doing a lot of fetish modeling and a lot of just other little fun stuff. You know, but it's still like adult-like.
So how did you, normally just or naturally just got into the business? Like, how did that all come about? Kind of take us through that.
Well, I was 21 and I needed a job, so I went to it was an adult video and bookstore, and I worked in the one in North Hollywood, and my sister got a job working in the one in Hollywood, and it just was like, we grew up, it was very open for us. You know, sex was talked about. My mom's a HIV and AIDS educator and awareness counselor. So it was something that was always open to us. So when I started working in the bookstore, it was just something that was like really fun. The people would come in there and we would sell, magazines and dildos and stuff. And it was just so like just what I was used to anyways, which is weird to say, I think, for most people. But my sister started doing adult films herself, and it wasn't for me. I like to perform, so I started dancing in clubs in LA, and then eventually, she kind of made it bigger, and people started asking about me. So then I started trying it out, dabbling in it, and that's kind of how I got into it.
Now, how many scenes or movies have you done to date, roughly?
I'm so bad at that. Like, I never even keep count. Like, it hasn't been very many. Maybe like 20-ish, 30-ish.
So that's not bad. I mean, we've had people on here that are like, oh, I've done 600, 700, but who the fuck is counting?
Well, right. Like, my sister's done very many, so a lot of people know me from her because they know that we're sisters and stuff, and we did have one film that we did together with Alex Gong, and that was different, but, like, I think after that, everyone knew, like, oh, yeah, they are sisters, they are two different people, so...
Now, you're twins with your sister, but you're not identical, right?
Yeah, we're twin sisters. We're not identical twins. We're fraternal twins, So we do look very similar, but we're very different. I'm 5'7", she's 5'4", like, so we do have similarities, but we're totally different.
Now, do a lot of people still confuse you two, even though there's
all the time. Like, people are like, Havana. I'll sit there and I'll tell them it's Savannah, and they'll still call me Havana. I'm like, okay, whatever.
and it's not helping any that you guys have similar names like Havana and Savannah, so it's not like.
Well, that was because in the beginning, no one believed we were sisters, so I had a different name, she had a different name, so we just decided that we'd have similar names so people would know that we were sisters, but then it ended up confusing them even more, so.
Yeah, they're not the same person, people. Michael Jackson and LaToya Jackson are not the same person. Havana and Savannah are not the same person.
Right.
So, you are of Cuban descent, right?
Yes. Cuban and Native American.
Okay, a lot of
my
people.
My dad's Cuban and my mom's Native American. So.
Yeah, people are tweeting in what is her nationality? And I'm like, I just thought this far in the game, people already knew this, but that's one of the questions.
A lot of people don't know. I mean, we have fans, but a lot of people they're like, you're hot. That's their fan of our hotness. They don't really know in detail about really anything about us, but It's all like, I mean, I like, if you really would know the difference, if you were really a big diehard fan, then you would know the difference. Like, she has tattoos and I have tattoos, and we have totally different tattoos. We're, like, I'm lighter, she's darker. Like, people don't know really anything about. They're just a fan just because you're beautiful, or they like our tits. I don't know.
And speaking of that, see, that's a nice segue. I'm glad you brought that up. The tits. That's the thing that everybody's like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, tweet me a question and, let me know what you want me to ask her. And they're all like, not even asking me questions. They're just like, can you just tell her she has amazing tits? I'm like, okay. So for everybody on Twitter, Savana, you have amazing tits.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. Like, yes, a lot of people, that's their thing. Like, that's what I'm known for. My big boobs, my big areolas. Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So give us like a full like rundown. Like, what are all the measurements? Like, people are just like curious to know exactly what it is from your voice. They don't want to read it. They want to hear
my
you say.
boobs are like, technically, I wear like a 34 double D, but technically, like, to cover my boobs, like, I have to wear like an F, like, if I really want to cover them all. But like a double D, triple D, like, to cover the whole tit. But I just squish them in a bra, like,
Yeah, why cover them all up?
Right, exactly. Like, the double D just fits them, like, it makes them perky and like real tight in there. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. I mean, why? If you got it, flaunt it. You know what I mean? So what about like? I was gonna say, to get to the other numbers.
I have hips. I'm kind of like a slender build. I'm not exactly sure what my hip size are. My dress size, like the dress size I wear, is a size 5. I'm kind of petite. I just have like a little apple bottom, so it's not too bad. My jeans aren't like like 42 or whatever. Like, I wear like a 28, like, so I have like a little white girl butt, but it's there.
So the Cuban part of it just didn't get down to the butt, or?
I'm built like my dad. He's Cuban, but like he's just lean, like tall and lean, so I have that tall, lean body. And then my mom, she's a native, and like, she's not very round either. Her butt is just like, she's petite as well. So I guess I just got the petiteness from both of them, But, all my other sisters are very, like, the bottom is, they got big booties. Like,
now, how many sisters do you have?
Including Havana, I have 3 sisters.
Now, what is their take on you guys doing the adult business? I guess they're probably used to it now, but
yeah. Well, my family has always been very open. Like, I come from a very alternative family, and my sisters they're not in the industry. They're not going to get in the industry. Like, one of them has 2 children herself, and then the other one, she's my youngest sister, and she's not really into any of that at all. She goes to school, she's going to college and stuff, but they don't judge us. They're very open. I mean, they were raised by my mother, so they understand, like, we do our adult film stuff, and they're proud of us, so they don't judge us. But they do get the questions like, those are your sisters? Like, oh my God, those are your sisters? And then they have to deal with that. But I had to deal with it too with Havana before I got in the industry. Like, oh my God, that's your sister? Like, I'm like, yeah, she's my sister.
It's like, oh my God, that's your sister? Can you introduce me to her? Like,
yeah, yeah. Or are you like your sister? Like, no.
Yes. Do you have great head game like your sister? Like.
Yeah, I mean, I hope. I don't know about my little sisters. We don't talk about stuff like that. One of them's married, and the other one is kind of like more innocent. She's very into school. She's not really into like guys that much because she's just trying to get her school thing on. I totally am all for that. But definitely, me and Havana, like, we my mom taught me how to give a blowjob, so it was just like. I was like, she's like, just open your mouth, open your throat.
That is awesome. Like,
yeah.
No one could tweet in a question like that. Like, who taught you how to give head? But if you ever wanted to know, her mom taught her.
Yeah, my mom taught me a lot, like we come from a line of like people, like my mom just like she was, like I guess whorish or in her days, so we all have a little whore in us. I think that's all good.
Your mom's gonna love listening back to this interview.
My mom knows she's a whore. My mom's like into BDSM and all that crazy stuff. My mom is actually like not into guys anymore. She likes women. So even though she has 5 kids, it just happens like that sometimes.
So your mom is a full-blown lesbian now?
I mean, she wouldn't say she's a lesbian because she says, I'm not a lesbian. All the time we're like, you're a lesbian. She's like, I'm not a lesbian. I guess she's a dyke. I don't know.
Hey, Mom, you see that big bus coming by? You just got thrown under it.
I love my mom. She knows I love her. We all just sit around and this is a daily thing. We all like, we're truthful. We know. She says she's a dyke. She knows. Like,
see, we got to get your mom on the radio now. Jeez, like
you should. You really should. Like, she's really awesome, actually.
Damn,
she's actually really famous in her own world. Like, you can Google her too. Like, she's also famous in her own sense. Like Ricky, Daddy Rick. That's her thing. Like.
Damn. So there we go. We will have to get her on the show sometime and talk some kinky shit with her.
Yeah, the Ginger Twins' mom.
So, like I said, we got questions here from fans that have been tweeting in. So, one of the questions I wanted to know was, how old were you when you first lost your virginity?
I was 15 when I lost my virginity to this boy that I ran around. I was the type of girl that didn't want to lose my virginity till I was 18 because I was like, I'm not. A lot of guys would always go after me, and I was kind of I was a weird kid. I shaved my head at 13. Like, I dressed alternative. I was like into skater boys, but like I just thought boys didn't deserve, that special thing. But there was this one boy, this hot skater white boy with long hair, and it was like half shaved, and he was a BMXer guy too, and like he was 17 and I was 15, and he did not want to be with me because I was young and he had a 14-year-old sister, and I was like, come on, I'm about to be 15, and then finally I chased him around for a couple months, and he finally decided to go out with me, and then we dated for like 3 months, and he was like, he's like, I've been waiting for you. If you don't want to lose it, fine, but I'm going to go sleep with someone else. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it because I loved him, and he's the one who first turned me out into a freak. Like, it was his fault. I blame him, Alex.
Well, we don't want to blame him. We want to thank him. So thank you, Alex, if you're out there listening somewhere, like... It's because of you that you blessed us with this.
It's all his fault. It really is.
So, you mentioned that you did a scene with your sister. Was that the one and only scene you've ever done with your sister?
Yes. Yeah, it was the one and only scene. We got a lot of offers from a lot of people to do scenes together, and we were just not ever going to do it. But, like, the guy, Alex Gong, whom we did the scene with, we both, she had done scenes with him before. I had actually hooked up with him before ever doing this scene. So it was whatever, I've seen her fuck, she's seen me fuck. It wasn't a big deal. And we got paid a good amount of money. And we were both okay, should we do this? And I'm like, well, it would help us, with our fans to know who we are, that we're different. So we just did it. And unfortunately, everybody asks all the time, you should do it. It's never going to happen though. We're never going to do another scene together. That's the one and only scene. And unfortunately, it doesn't even have any sound because the guys that were filming it were these Jew guys, and they were talking mad shit to us. And I just was talking shit to them the whole time, fuck you, you Jew fuck. They couldn't put that in there, But they were calling us turds and being so rude. And I thought it was funny, but they didn't put it in because I was talking a lot of shit. So
And I always wondered
The
that
sound,
because
that's why the sound isn't in there, because they were like wanting us to take the shit talking. I'm like, no way. I'm not going to let you call me a black turd, and I'm not going to call you a Jew fuck, you know? Like,
well, that explains a lot because all those websites people go to watch the scene are like, what
yeah,
the fuck is wrong with my computer? Like, why is this shit
they
not
don't
working?
know why. That's why, everyone, because those guys were racist fucks.
There
they
you
didn't
go.
want to put it in there. So
there you go. So you're learning some new stuff. So
yeah.
So all right. So like I said, you did the scene with your sister and everything, and everybody was kind of like, would you ever do a scene like that, like incest type stuff? And I'm like,
no, that's disgusting. Just because we were licking the same cock, who cares? Bitches lick cocks all the time. That they're, God, everyone fucks everyone. First of all, and we weren't licking each other. We weren't like, so what? Our saliva on the guy. Like, I don't get it. I would never like make out with her and fuck her. Like, no, I'm not. It was even weird just doing the scene, but we're professional, so like we just like they don't put everything in there. We did take breaks and stuff, but like, I don't know. No, I wouldn't fuck my sister.
So there you go. So all the people out there that have like weird, like hillbilly, fuck your sister, brother's cousin fetishes, like that was not happening.
No. But that would be a funny parody, you know? Like
it would, you know. But now that even if like to do something like that, like you would have to think like outrageous amounts of money would have to be offered to do something like that.
I mean, like, either way, that would be... I mean, either way, like, we're two girls, what would we do? Fuck each other with a dildo? That's still not fucking... I mean, I don't get it. It's just... We're not like... We wouldn't totally go and do all that either way. The money in the industry isn't that great anyway, so I doubt anyone could ever afford something like that anyway, so, you know...
So there's an audience for it, but it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
So what are
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry guys, it's just not gonna happen. You just have to just imagine that in your head.
Yeah, imagine. Use your imagination.
You know, I mean, in this world of like video games and stuff, like
people need to use their imaginations more often. Like,
exactly.
Dream it up.
Exactly. Like we're so far advanced. Like, there's so much stuff you can imagine now.
Right, exactly.
So
cartoon it out, you know?
Yeah. So what are some of your favorite scenes to do? Like when you were, currently shooting, or like what is like one of your favorites to do?
Well, I just started recently getting more into the fetish side of things, which I was always interested in before, but I never would get booked for it. And now I'm more like independent doing my own stuff, so I get to do really whatever I want. And it's not so much what only they book me on. Like, I love girl. I like to do girl, but I've done one scene girl, because people don't really book me for that, because I guess they don't know I like girls. But also, like, I did a scene the other day, and I was, like, tied up. They tied me up. Like, they had, like, a professional guy, like an S&M guy, come in and tie me up all crazy. And it was actually, like, the most fun I ever had. And it wasn't even a sexual, like, it was sexual, but I was naked. They tied me up, and they tickled me, and they played with me with a toy, you know, and a Hitachi thing, and it was like awesome. It was amazing. But like the whole being tied up and being bound, not being able to move, and like someone else like dominating me, I was into it actually. So, you know, I'm looking forward to doing more stuff like that.
Do you ever get bored with normal sex?
My sex is not normal. I don't have normal sex. My sex is not boring. Like, even when I have sex, like when I had a boyfriend or whatever, it wasn't boring. It was still fun, like intimate. I don't think sex can be boring unless you're boring. You know, unless you're just a boring fuck, then yeah, of course it's not fun. But me, I've always been very sexual, and my high sex drive, it doesn't really get boring. If I get bored, I just stop having sex for a week or two, and then I fuck again, and I'm like, yeah, that's awesome.
Now, you mentioned when you had a boyfriend. Are you currently single?
I am currently single, yeah. I did have a boyfriend for a while, and it was awesome, but it wasn't working out, and we won't get into that, but I'm single.
Now, are you currently taking applications? Because we get those tweets a lot.
Am I taking applications? Like, the guys who come at me and like Twitter or something like that are like the weirdest guys that I would never go out with. Like, I mean, not all of them. Some of them are like normal guys, you know what I mean? But the way they come about it, like, oh yeah, and sending me dick pictures, that's not how you're going to get me to want to be your girlfriend, though. You know, like, if you want to fuck someone, maybe, but if you want someone to like you on a deeper level, the dick pictures isn't going to work, even if you have a big cock. Sorry. But I am not looking for anything serious, but if it comes along, then it comes along. And you can never plan stuff out like that. You know, usually you meet someone and you just click with them, and then you end up dating for like a year or two, and then it works out or it doesn't.
So, like, the random text message from a DJ asking you to come on their radio show is probably not the best approach.
I don't know. I have never met you, but maybe if we met each other in person,
I'd be like, I'm that crazy motherfucker who texted you and was like, can you please come on my radio show?
Yeah, but I mean, I have to put a face to the name. I'm more of a visual person, you know. I don't fall in love over the phone. I like meet someone out at a club and he's awesome, and like I fall in love with him.
Because I'll admit, I definitely, dudes, like, I worked for this one. I was blowing her to fuck up. Like, I got to a point where it was like, she wanted to kick my ass and was like, are we going to fucking do this or not? Like, I just had to put it out there. So.
I'm very straight to the point, and I'm very forward, and I'm very lighthearted, but sometimes I do have, like, an aggro side, like, dude, yeah, like, leave me alone, or let's do this. I can be a bit bitchy. It's just part of who I am. Yeah. I'm a Pisces. I'm one way, and then I'm one way, you know? Like,
the spicy Latina side came out on me. I almost got shanked through fucking text.
I am from East LA, okay? So
yes. And like I said, I worked for this for you guys, so definitely enjoy this interview. Please listen to it a couple times because I really worked hard to get this for you guys. So, all right, a couple more questions.
Okay.
One of the guys that are tweeted in, he wants to know, like, what do you enjoy doing the most? Like, do you enjoy, like, you know, giving head, getting head? You know, like, what is your favorite positions like?
I like oral, of course. Like, I like giving it and getting it. 69 is always a fave, you know, and like doggy and what does my girlfriend call it? She calls it lazy dog. Alicia Riley, she's my homegirl, my bestie. She's like, my favorite's lazy dog. I'm like, it actually really feels great that way, like on your side with one leg up. I don't know.
So I thought lazy dog is when you were just like laying flat on your stomach and the dude was just on top.
I don't know. You can call it the.
Is that like
dog.
dead dog?
I don't know what it's called.
It's like dog that got ran over by a car.
It's called. I really don't know all the technical names. I know I'm supposed to know these things, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on set and they're giving you a direction, all right, we're gonna do lazy dog now. Like, wait, lazy dog.
What is that? Like, I don't know. Whatever it's called. Let's make our own names up. The dragon side. I don't know.
Yeah, I enjoy the lazy boy. That's where you fuck on a chair.
Oh yeah, that's always fun.
The lazy boy. It's like a recliner. Yeah.
When you're both sitting backwards and you're just like leaning into it, that's fun too. I don't know. I like to spice it up. It just depends on the cock, I guess. But you know,
you have a job in like a future in radio because you just bring in the perfect segues. Because the next question is like, what's the largest cock you've ever had?
The largest? I really don't know the largest. I don't size them out. Like, I mean, I guess, you know, it just depends. I had this one ex-boyfriend. He was a white boy, and he had the hugest cock. And then I did a scene with a black guy, and they both had the same, like, size cock. I really don't know. It's like 9 inches, I guess. 10. I don't know. I really wouldn't know. But, like, I'm not really into, like, big, giant, like, Lexington steel cocks. I'm just into, like, regular, like, if it fits in my mouth, then I like it.
Very awesome. I always wonder when people tweet that question and they're like, what's the biggest cock she's ever had? I'm like you walk around with, like, a measuring tape, like, on the side, like...
And I'm not into, like, it's not into the... If it's nice and it's a nice fat, like normal, I don't even know, like, what's normal, but, like, it doesn't really matter. If it feels good, if it if I'm sucking the shit out of it, you'll know if I like it or not. That's like a hard question. You have to be in the moment. Like,
Yeah, and as far as what is normal, anything that doesn't have bumps or like weird fucking colors on it, that's probably
exactly.
normal.
If you have a pretty penis, I like it.
Have you ever
Basically.
told a guy he has a pretty penis?
Yes, many times. The other day, actually, this guy, I was like, wow, your penis is really pretty. And he was like, isn't it? And he liked it. He was like, thank you. It really, because people don't think penises can be pretty, but they can. Because when you see an ugly one, then you'll know.
The fact that he was like, isn't it? Like, the fact that he actually put thought into how pretty his penis is makes me think, like, he gives a whole new meaning to the word cocky.
He was a pretty boy. He was a pretty boy, so.
That's definitely the definition of being cocky right there. When you think you have a pretty penis.
Yeah. And if you do, then amen.
So what kind of guys do you like? Like, there's guys that hit me up, and like you said, you get all kinds of different shapes, sizes, shades, of people. What type of guy are you attracted to?
I mean, it just depends on the guy. It's just like, I like a balance. I like someone to be naughty but respectful, like not to like want to slap you around and fucking choke you out and kill you, like, but I'm into the whole smacking around and like light passion play. I'm Latin, I like the passionate, like let's fuck and make love, and like, even though you would think they both don't go together, but in Savana's world they do. So
it's like MMA sex.
Yeah, it's like you have to give me a little bit of passion, hardcore, and then love me down,
Exactly. Now, what are some of the things that you still want to accomplish? I mean, I know you said you take breaks and you go back in. Like, what is something that you always want to accomplish?
I mean, I'm looking to do a lot of things. Like, I'm almost 30 years old now, so, like, I want to start my own business. I really want to do, like, a lingerie line, some type of fashion wear, like, something from, like, for my hood people, like for the East LA and me, like, I'd like to come out. I would like to make a brand, a name for myself, and those are the things that I'm focusing on now, because I realize that's the only thing that's going to really make me happy, because I'm, like, very into fashion. If you see me, like, I love to get dressed up, but I'm also very down to earth and chill. So I just want to make something that brings out what people in everyday life like, Like, we like to get dressed up, and I like to get my nails done and look like ghetto fat, but I also am very glamorous as well. So I want to do something in the end of the day that will bring me more fans in a different sense,
Well, we're hoping you get a lot of fans from this, and a lot of people do social media. So the people who were tweeting in, where can they find you at on, like, social media, like Instagram, Twitter, whatever fucking social media there is nowadays?
Yeah. Well, I got a lot of my Twitter got deleted. My old Twitter got deleted, so I have a new Twitter. It's at Ohsosavvy, OOHSOSAVVY, and that's my Instagram. And my Facebook is just it's just like my friends that I went to school with, so I don't really even do Facebook anymore. But the Instagram, I have Vine, it's Ohsosavvy, and Snapchat.
So definitely follow her on all of those. Like, that's there's new things that I haven't even ventured into. Like, I'm still stuck on the Twitter and Instagram. Like, I get into this thing where I just look at your picture and I can't really install other apps because I can't get off this one picture. But so definitely follow her on there. What is a normal day like for you when you're not, like, shooting? Like, what do you like to do to just, like, normal?
I like to smoke weed.
That's normal in LA.
And I like to sleep, and I like to drink. I like to eat. I like to be out in the sun. I'm like, I need the sun to hit my face. Like, I like to go hiking. I like to, I'm just a normal girl. I like to do normal things, shop, like hang out with my friends, go to lunch, like smoke weed all the time. And if I don't smoke weed, I haven't been smoking weed though, because I was just like, doing my business. So when I'm doing business, I don't really like to be high. But then a couple days go by and I'm like, oh, why am I being so aggro and mean? Because I need to smoke weed. So
So you noticed in that whole answer there, she mentioned that she likes to smoke weed like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I mean that's one. I mean, one of the things I like to do a lot. Yeah, that's legalize it.
Yes, please, because her glaucoma is, it's really kicking in, and you know,
I suffer. I have to. It's hard for me to sleep. Go to sleep at night. I stay up all hours of the night, and then I sleep. I slept in today. I was supposed to do the interview at 12, and I was like, I'm asleep.
well, see, I didn't want to put it out there. You know what I mean? People are still tweeting me like, "What the fuck is going on? You said 12 o'clock."
You know
dude.
what? I usually am on time about things when I have to wake up and go do things. I went from New York to Boston last night, and I had an audition yesterday, and I was walking around all in the city, so I was extra tired. That's the only reason. And I put my phone on silent, so I didn't even hear you calling, but my bad.
It's all good. It's all good. We have you on here now. So, you mentioned an audition. What was the audition for?
It was for a reality show. I'm trying to do some mainstream stuff as well. So it was just like do you like to go clubbing? Are you a club girl? Do you see yourself running your own club or nightclub? And I was like, yeah, I do. That's one of my dreams. So I went on the audition. We'll see. It's just a pilot, but I would like to do some reality stuff just to say I did it.
There you have it.
I'm very good at being me, I am an actress, but I'm good at acting like myself. So
that's good. If you can perfect being yourself, then you have a future in that field.
Yeah.
So, all right, a couple more questions, and we'll get you out of here because I know you're pressed for time. But
yeah.
one of the people tweeted in. They wanted to know where was the craziest place that you've ever had sex, like weirdest, crazy, like kind of out there.
I was before I ever was in the industry, I was a little wild thing, I had a lot of boyfriends, and we always, you're young, you do it wherever you can. So I've done it in very crazy places. I've done it at the beach, at the park, on top of a building in downtown LA. Outside of the freeway, I don't know, a lot of places in my mom's van when I was young, my Alex, the one who I lost my virginity to. He would always come late at night to come see me, and I was like, you can't come inside the house. But my mom had this big ass van. You can go in the van though.
It's like the original Bang Bus.
Yeah, except it was all white, and so it's just like that. So I guess I was training since a little girl my whole life.
Oh, that's so precious.
So sad.
So there was a scene online where you're outside of a building and you're fucking and everything. How legit was that?
That was outside of a building. Yeah, that was outside of. He was like, so we want to get you do something different and just be outside. I'm like, I've done that a million times, but never on film. So I was like, sure. So we're walking around the block, and he was like, make out. But we were behind the building. I mean, there was a gardener watching us, but no one really seen.
So it was a private property, or is that something that's
It was behind the building where we were going to shoot in the building, of the porno place. But then he was like, would you mind doing it outside? And I'm like, no, whatever. And we just went behind the building and did it behind the building.
That's very awesome. God bless you for that.
Yeah.
No, I'm watching that
I'm adventurous.
Scene.
I'm adventurous. I like adventure.
See, I'm watching that scene and I'm thinking, that's gotta suck. The grass is itchy when you're sweating. And I'm like, how the fuck you rolling around on the grass and shit, all itchy?
It wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. It really wasn't. It was actually pleasurable.
So, all right, 2 more questions. One guy wants to know, what kind of music are you into?
I am into, really, you wouldn't even think, but I grew up, listening, I was, a raver in my days, I grew up listening to, drum and bass, electronic, electro music, breakbeat, stuff like that. So like I'm still into that. I like the dubstep. I like all that. I have a lot in LA. I have a lot of like drum and bass friends, and like I still go out to that type of stuff. But I also like I like hip hop. I like R&B. When I dance in the club, in the strip club, I dance to R&B and hip hop. So but I just like it all. I'm like a mixture of things. So when you go to the club, like, and they're mixing all that crazy stuff in at once, like the hip hop, the dubstep, I like it all. Like, that's my thing. But, I did go to Greystone the other night before I came out to New York, and, it was hip hop all night. I enjoy a good hip hop night. So I'm very versatile. I like everything. I like classical. I like jazz, whatever. I'm just musical. Like, I used to write a lot, and like I do poetry and stuff like that. So I do sing. So, and I do write, but I'm just into music. Anything you feel like, I like that. It just depends on my mood, really.
Very cool, very cool. So last question, we'll let you get out of here. Fans want to know, like, all right, cool, she does Twitter, she does Instagram, Facebook, and everything, but they all want to know, like, where can they actually meet you to get, like, a photo with you, or, just to say hi to you? Like, do you do public appearances, signings?
I right now I'm independent, so I haven't really. I've been trying to book gigs and stuff, but I need to like make more connections. So really, I've just been traveling around, like making more connections. So I did do an event when I was in New York. I did an event in Queens, but like like a lot of people don't know how to find me, don't know where I am. So I'm just getting out there. So it's really, you just got to follow me and see where I'm at, because it just happens, like it'll just happen, like, oh, she'll be here Friday, So I really don't have anything booked as of now. I'm in Boston. I am planning to go to HempFest, but it's not like I'm going to be signing anything there. That's just for my personal thing. And I'm going to be in Miami in a short time. So it's really like, I don't know what to say, guys.
Just follow her on Twitter and Instagram, and you'll find out where she's at.
Yeah.
It's like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? You just kind of have to like keep following the clues.
Right. Where in the world? I'm here, guys.
Yeah. You want to sing it? Go ahead. You said you sing. You said you sing. There's your audition tape. We'll send out to all the record labels. No. She's singing the theme song to Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Right.
Sure to get you a record deal.
Jay-Z. No.
Yeah. And if you don't get a record deal from singing that, you're definitely going to get one from fucking in a parking lot.
Exactly. I need some.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, and you have to stop in Philly sometime. Like, you have to come down here and see us.
Okay.
Stop flying over Philly. Stop going to like Miami to New York to Boston. Just flying over us.
I travel where I know people, so I don't know very many people in Philly. So, but maybe I'll make my way there. A lot of people want me to go to Chicago. A lot of people want me to go to Texas. I'm like, I like to stay where I'm like, I know like more than one person.
Well, you know me, and we have an airport. It is operating. So you can touch down in it anytime.
All right.
So make sure you come check us out. So, Savana, we appreciate you again for coming on and talking to us a little bit. Yeah. And follow her on Instagram and Twitter. Give them the Instagram and Twitter address again.
Oso Savvy. OOHSOSAVVY.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it again. And anything else you want the fans to know before you get out of here?
No, that's all. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, we thank you again. We'll be talking to you real soon.
All right. Hey, this is Savannah Ginger, and you're listening to Mix Master B, the